Well, it is early morning to me. We had a fire last night, a large mulch fire. That's on the other videos up there. And probably if I could even talk complete sentences, we've been up all night. I think we got done washing fire hose about 8 to 9 o'clock this morning or something. But had it scheduled for some dump trucks coming with some oversized ballast. I'm kind of watching traffic here too. So I'm out here at the roadway waiting for them. Next load to come in. We're taking it down to a short staging area down here, and I'll flip the screen around down on this other side of this field. And what we're going to do is just stage the ballast over in that area, and tomorrow I'll be here with the tractor taking up ballast to fix some really muddy ruts in the road farther going up to the top of that mountain. So a little bit of video tomorrow, but we just got to get the material staged today, and then I can work it as we do. But anyway, that's about all I can do in sentences. I'm ready for more coffee. My eyes are about to close, so I'll see you in the morning on the tractor, next part of the video. All right, I had to go and get started. Don't have a lot of time to film right now, so I'll set up maybe the cameras in a little bit, but I've already done several loads. We got the ballast, oversized ballast stored here, and I'm having to make every trip up to the top of that mountain. Not to the top, but on the way up the road. A lot of the muddy spots there, but I'll set the camera in a little bit. I got to keep rolling, make sure I stay on track here before I, get more focused on the cameras and stuff. But just fueled up again and carrying on. right, you can see ahead, this has already been smoothed a little bit. So this whole area, not the whole area, but a lot of this was just rutted mud stuff, some of it that deep. A couple places I scraped the mud off to get rid of it. Other places it had firmed up around it, so we're just getting it in the ruts, getting it on the base, and then I come back over and smooth it a little bit. And then every time I'm going back and forth, I'm driving on a different place across the road, and actually different angles. Sometimes I'll go this way, that way, really everywhere, trying to use the tractor to pack it down a little bit. It's solidified a lot more since it quit raining for a couple days, but this was really bad the other day. I almost got stuck coming up here. So we got about around 50 ton or so that we're putting on this. So this is more of a road, we'll say, rescue, an adjustment more than trying to smooth it and make it really nice and pretty. There's a house being built, and the delivery trucks need to get in and out for supplies, workers every day, keep things going, or work can stop. So we're kind of rescuing the road for a little bit, and then assessing this for some repitching, some places that it does need a crown, some places it doesn't, and some drainage work, and some taking out this sharp curve here in a way that's going to be averaged out instead of a really steep inside curve on it. But back down to the bottom. These are long trips, but here's one of the reasons. Go like, well, you know, why not bring the dump truck up through here to spread it? Well, when this was delivered yesterday, it was still soupy enough in some places. I think the dump trucks really would have caused more damage before and after parts that were already bad, which would have required more ballast. So what I'm trying to do is take each load and say I'm going to put it there and use it there, and really maximize these 3 dump truck loads that have been delivered and do the most for this guy for his money. So I'm going to head back down the bottom and get more. For speed wise, I'm actually in medium in the drive system. So a lot of times when I'm loading gravel into the bucket, I like to be in low because you have the power to push it in the pile a little bit more. So I'm just still staying in medium, so I don't have to change gears every time, but kind of come in with a bucket and work it up while it's being lifted, and it'll pretty much get a full truck load most times. But even in the mirror with this steep grade right here, all I'm doing to keep this thing going in the medium speed is I lift back on the pedal, and the flow will change and keep up with that speed. Now, if you keep the pedal down all the way, she's going to bog out a little bit, and it seems like it's powered down. But if that happens, just let up on the pedal and it'll keep going through it. If I was in low gear trying to do this job, it would take so much longer every trip. So I'm in medium. Now once this gets done and maybe they finish the building up here, which I don't think it's a lot before they've got to do yet, but this would get like road on ABC mix on top of this, and then that can be spread smooth and finish crowning and those kind of things in it. So you're going to see me bumping around a little bit. I'm not worried about that right now. This is just more about passage. Now I forgot I did video a little bit yesterday. I didn't video the dump trucks dumping, but I always kind of like seeing I love this sound of gravel coming out of a dump truck for some reason. But if you saw the first part of this, I did get home. I did make it all the way staying awake till, I don't know, 9:30, 10 o'clock last night. caught up on the sleep, but I could have slept in probably a couple more hours this morning, but I had to get here a little after 8, and it's about a half an hour to 45-minute drive to tow the tractor here. But I got enough sleep to keep going, and hopefully another good sleep tonight. Video. Woohoo! I am mixing a video right now on my wife's F-150, replacing the radiator in it. Time has been super tight lately. I've got 4 classes this semester, working on my degree, and 4 classes is a lot with a 40-hour week job, and some longer weeks occasionally, and trying to do this kind of contracting work on days I can get off, Saturdays, evenings, whatever it takes. But yeah, with 4 classes and that fire, like we've had a really busy week at the fire department, so I have longer days, maybe working like 55, 60-hour weeks. And when there's a vehicle repair in the family or something like that, I wouldn't say that takes that time. That's a blessing to be able to have the family and the vehicles or whatever to work on to get them done. But so you realize there's not a lot of breathing room for the clock on a week. But I'm just happy to be here and getting this job done for this guy, getting some other things paid off to get more breathing room financially, which is awesome. But yeah, so I'm gonna grab another pile here. Wouldn't be bad at this point if I've got some stuff on the worst parts going up the hill, if the dump trucks were bringing it up to this point now. But I even thought about, boy, if I have my dump trailer here, I could put about 4 or 5 ton in it, take that up at one time, but that was more logistics, it would take more time. So just start making a decision and get it done. Some of these places are going to get more ballast. I'm trying to make sure that I'm getting the most done all the way up the road on the worst things, and then come back and put a little bit more, then a little bit more to disperse it, solve the problem. I could get perfect in one of the areas and use most of the gravel and not have any for one that has nothing on it. So yeah, some of these areas we'll dump another inch or 2 on and spread it. I think this time I'm going to put the box scraper down and the ballast that I put up here just loose out of the bucket. On this last section, I'm going to go back and put the box scraper down and smooth that for a pass. And then we'll keep doing the same thing over and over. On this grade, I'm going into low gear, pulling the box scraper plus the load, and the hill needs the low part of the transmission on it. Is driving me nuts. It's in my pocket, and I still haven't got to the point where I need to make some baskets and some other things. Well, it looks like a good spot. There we go. I don't remember if I've done a video since some of the wiring stuff was in. The control panel over here for the light bar, rear light, side lights, and all that stuff. Plus the, you know, I had a video about the salt spreader for that and the radio. So with this radio, I can communicate with the fire department in case I'm, you know, working a way into plowing or something like that during the winter time. And some other rescue work, we may use the tractor and certain things. But all right, we're going to go back to medium. One thing, remember, a hydrostatic transmission is great on these hills. It's got good hold back, you know, and all that for speed control. But if you're switching on a hill and you get it between those gears, it's in neutral, and you can roll away because you have nothing holding it back. But I'm always hard on the brake, then I'm back down on medium. And you should feel that response. I'll let off the pedal, and it's stopping me on this fairly steep hill. Now I'm just kind of hacking some stuff up through here. Just that one scrape did so much for smoothing this out. Notice I went a little bit faster there on that. What I'm doing is just getting a very light coat of the ballast worked into that. So as we go down through here, we'll just start running over top of it, kind of press it into the ground a little bit. Because if I put a whole bunch on this side, I'll start changing the slope a little bit. It's actually sloping to the offside, you know, to the right now, looking downhill. So you're like, hey, why don't you want it to tilt over and get in that ditch? Well, that ditch on the left, really, its purpose here, where you've got a decent place where it can slowly run off the road, is really over here on the left is to catch the rainfall and moisture that's in the forest above that and catch it before it gets to the road and take it down to a culvert. So I'll keep it tilted to the right here, but we're just going to put a light coat on this right side and see how it's feeling. Yeah, hopefully this will just press into the top part and marry with it a little bit. Should be fine. I kind of bumped the control for the loader, so it's really just the faster I go, it's dispersing them out a little bit more. It is almost noon. I might go to about 12:30, somewhere around in there, and I'll try something, I would say new today, but it's been years since I cooked something on an engine. I was on a trip from West Virginia back down to North Carolina, and me and my mom had made a homemade, for the first time ever, made Salisbury steaks. And just came up with our own recipe, made them, made the gravy. It was just phenomenal. It was like really some of the best Salisbury steak I've ever had. So I had a couple of them in aluminum foil, and I may have a picture of that somewhere. I'll see if I can find it. But I had the packet really in aluminum foil on about Fancy Gap, Virginia. I pulled over there at a gas station, and I put this up on the engine. I think it was my Bronco 2 at the time, the old Ford, I'm not sure. But I put it up on the engine in a spot and drove all the way down to Statesville, North Carolina. Pulled into a gas station there, opened the hood, and then it was just like perfectly warmed up, lightly steaming, and I had some more Salisbury steak, mashed potatoes and gravy right there in the parking lot. It was awesome. But I have some leftover pizza, and I think I'm going to do the same thing today. I want to warm it up. It's my wife got it last night, brought it home, and thank goodness I had something really good to eat for supper. It's one of my favorite pizzas. It's called the Kitchen Sink from Pepperoni's Pizza at Black Mountain, and it is just delicious. Like, it's got all the assortment of good stuff. I don't know how to describe it. It's got everything on it but the kitchen sink, is what they call it now. But it's good. I'll grab another load here, and maybe the next trip or two we'll come down and start prepping that, take a break, get some switch over from the coffee to fluids. Good enough. It's not hot and bubbling, but I don't have that much time, but it has been warmed up enough. I'm happy. I have to figure out a way to put it on there and hold it in place while I'm working and give it some more time, and I can cook something nice. All right, that'll work. Well, probably a lot of y'all know this too, but when I come out of this steep grade right here to get onto the road, if I take the flow or the turn, with a full bucket, boy, you can feel the tilt. So anything, when I'm turning onto it, I would rather pretty much go straight up, and I'm actually waiting until I get my front tires on the road and then turn in it, and I really don't hardly have any tilt. But maybe the next one I'll show, I might cut it a little bit closer to the curb, but you don't have to follow the road, just do whatever the machine needs to do. Forgot about my phone. Alright, this time I'm going to try to get the bucket about the level I had it, and I'm going to turn just a little bit more into the curve instead of straight up, and see if you can see the little bit of a tilt. I'm just going to go a couple feet over. Yeah, that tilt right there, don't like. Really just about 2 foot over. I mean, it doesn't look that bad, but maybe fine with the nothing in the bucket, but with it in there and elevation. I could lower this down a little bit more, but maybe scraping this road over here a little bit today too. We're just going to do a time assessment on how long the main priority takes of getting stuff done. And while I'm here, I may do a couple of other things for him. Super nice guy. Nice to work for occasionally. Oh wow, there's a buck to the left that is about an 8-point. He just went down the hill. Doggone it. I wish he'd have gotten up in the frame. I'm going to back up, see if you might want to continue on with his nose there. I can get another look at that rack. Man, I wish we could have got that bucket of... Oh, there he is. I don't know if you just saw him there. Yep, he's going up in the woods there. He was not leaving those girls behind. I can't tell if it was an 8 or 10. man, all I could see, I just happened to look over to the left and I'm like, wonder what else is coming up. Maybe another doe or something. And I could just see about mid-neck up, and I was like, my goodness. That's a man right there. I'll stop right here for a second and let I don't know if you can tell this angle or the depth from this perspective, but just out of sight, not of the turn, but before that, say about half to 3/4 of the way there, you see it kind of crests up, and it actually looks like it almost dips back down a little bit again and then makes the curve. So this road right there really needs built up almost probably a foot in the center of that last portion, so that there's a better transition around that curve instead of coming into it and then a steep around it. That's where a lot of the tire spin is probably coming from on that too. Every curve is an issue on a gravel road, but this really needs a rebuild right there to save him some money in the future, really. See right past this brown is starting about right here, and each filled up with an even line slope to that curve. Had to get another drink there, switching from my coffee, but also grabbed 2 of these. I don't know if you can see them, but these are the Oreos that have the Pop Rocks in the stuff, and it's rather delicious. Yeah. hey, I'm calling it today. Gotta wait for the owner to get back. Give him the invoice for everything today, but man, what a beautiful day today. Chilly this morning, but it turned out great. Only thing is, most of the day it seemed like I was taking loads up in the sun, so having to squint a little bit, but pretty blessed day. I'm hoping the truck's going to do fine on the way back. Added coolant. One of my friends, Dustin, that's been on videos before, picked me up some coolant. I added it. Just can't see any other major problem, and it drove the rest of the way here fine. So, you know, cross your fingers a little bit, but maybe pray instead. Might be more useful for this. I get home, but I always want to say, like, in one of the long jobs, what am I thinking about? Obviously, gravel, tilt, tractor operation. I mean, all those things. But there's usually something going on with sermon prep notes, something that my pastor Tim has shared in a message, and it's in there, and you kind of chew on it. That's what we call it. But last night, I want to leave you with today. I'm not going to leave you the scripture, just a little bit of common language storyline that most people know about Moses going up on the mountain, gets all the commandments from God and the tablets. Everybody pretty much knows about that. And then when he comes back down, all the people have now suddenly started worshiping a golden calf. And that's mostly what we hear about the story, but I got to thinking about it. It was like, how long exactly was it until that calf occurred and he came back down and saw it? And how many really steps did it happen along the way, culturally, socially, within this group down there, that got to that point of the decision to take jewelry, smelt it, turn it into the gold, then start worshiping it? But you know that there were some things like me and my cousin Dwight. Hey Dwight, I hope you could see this. We were talking last night on the phone about this, and so, wow, it's like, you know, Moses probably started walking up the mountain. Everybody's going, cool, he's doing it, he's getting it. I wonder how long this is going to take. Might be a while. And it seems like every little step along the way, distraction, getting off focus, all kinds of things along the way, someone plants a bad seed in that, and eventually these things happen. So I think the point is, it's not always that this happened and there was a obvious sin. It's about the, you know, possibly 1,000 steps in between that got you there. So if you stop for a minute and start to realize, maybe in your marriage, dealing with a neighbor, gossip, whatever things going on in your life, you may be at this point of 232 of those seeds that's growing until to the point you're going to be in that obvious kind of a thing. But don't wait till it gets there. When you start seeing the first things getting planted of dissent, discontent, all those kind of things in life that seem to creep up, nip them into bud real quick, because it's going somewhere else big. But anyway, that's all I got for you today. I'm anxious. I don't know, we may go out to eat tonight, me and my wife. I don't know where. That would be really nice, but I'm definitely going to get some more sleep tonight. Got homework coming Monday, got church tomorrow, and some more fellowship with family. But love you all, and I'll see you soon. Bye.